Welcome to the final part of the Uncharted Drake's Fortune Let's Play. So we are now on Chapter 21, Golden Bones, and I'll just say right now that there's really not much to this chapter. In fact, just like Part 17, I am combining this chapter and the very last chapter of the game, which also contains my least favorite boss in the entire series. Ugh. It might rival up with Uncharted 3's final boss, but I just hate this final boss that's gonna be coming up soon. Oh joy, I cannot.
Oh man. Whoa.
You two should realize by now that I plan for every contingency. Now drop your weapons. Down there. No heroics, please. Or I will kill her. Good. Now, if you'll just hang tight, we'll be with you in a moment. It's magnificent. The craftsmanship. I've never seen anything like it before.
That is only a shell. The real treasure of El Dorado lies inside. Open it! My God. Watch this. Navarro. Adios, Jefe. So little imagination. Bajen la red! Bajen la red!
Navarro, that thing wiped out an entire colony. You don't know what you're doing.
Wrong. I'm the only person on this island who knows what the hell he's doing. Cargue la estatua. Cuidado! You are so pathetic. All of you, scrambling around for your petty treasures. Do you have any idea what this is worth? To the right buyer? Levántalo!
Oh no, what the hell is that?
God!
Jesus, what are those things? It's the Spaniards, Sully. They never left. My God, if that thing gets off the island...
You gotta stop him. I'll cover you from here.
And really, we're just heading into the last part of Chapter 21, and which is basically just trying to chase Navarro to the helicopter. Well, we basically have to stop the statue from leaving the island, otherwise the zombie apocalypse will happen. My best tip for this part right here, just run and gun, although I wouldn't run and gun like that. So instead, yeah, I think I died here a few times, hence the cut. So again, just like what I said with Chapter 19, in the when the alarm was going off in the old German U-boat station, and just run and gun, don't aim, just run and shoot. Because if you hold down the L1 button, you're gonna slow down exponentially. Although you might want to mind the guys with the shotguns, because again, shotguns are very powerful. If you jump into the water at the beginning, that is an instant death, so I wouldn't recommend you do that.
Mátenlo! Kill him!
How convenient that this boat is here. Like, seriously. Hey, that's convenience I don't know what is. So anyway, we are now on chapter 22, the final chapter of the game. Where we have to beat the final and only boss in the entire game. We have to defeat Navarro, because if we don't, then the zombie apocalypse will happen. And okay, what Navarro's gonna do is that, in terms of his gun, he has a laser sight, just like the snipers. Here's the kicker. Here, he'll blindly shoot at you twice, or at least he'll blindly shoot at you 2 or 3 times. And then on the last one, he'll actually try to aim for your head. And like I said before, headshots are instant death. It doesn't matter how much health you have. If you get shot in the head, you die instantly, and you have to restart the fight all over again. In order to progress through the fight, you're gonna have to defeat the mooks that are, well, trying to kill you. Trying to help Navarro in this case. Here's another kicker actually. When you're in terms of the cover that you're actually hiding behind, and you can't hide there forever because it only takes a matter of shots that's to destroy the cover completely. And so you're pretty much pressured. So if a cover spot is destroyed, yeah. So let's do this boss the unintentional way, because fuck this guy. Okay, so my best bet, don't use the cover. At least in this part. Just hide behind this piece of cover, because, again, you can hide behind here as much as you want, and you won't be pressured. In fact, in terms of the strategy that I'm doing here, actually, this is actually a strategy that's best used for the crushing difficulty, which is pretty much an unlockable difficulty when you beat the game. I think on the hard mode, yeah, I think you unlock that difficulty when you beat this game on the hard mode. And yeah. But this strategy also works for normal, easy, and hard difficulties, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Let's see. One thing that makes this boss fight a real pain in the ass though is that, well, obviously, the fact that you can't really hide behind cover for too long, but also if you die anywhere in the fight, you have to redo the chapter all over again. So again, it doesn't matter where you are. There's no checkpoints. You die in one area, it's back to the beginning. So yeah. All else I can really say here, well, aside from the visuals, is that make whatever ammo you have, whether it be shotgun ammo or actually going into the another thing that makes this boss fight a real pain in the ass is the fact that okay, you can only carry one gun at a time. You can only carry an automatic or a shotgun, basically only one long gun at a time, and you can't. And Drake doesn't have a handgun either. So I must stress, I would recommend you save bullets for the shotgun and for both long guns. This way you don't get screwed out. This way you don't get screwed out of the boss fight, or at least screwed out of being this guy, and you have to do this fight all over again. So duck behind cover just so you don't get hit by the 3 bullets. It's like this. Make sure you duck when he's gonna do that last shot when he's actually aiming for you. And that's another cover spot gone. I only have 3 shotgun rounds to make sure. The way now in terms of the strategy that you actually do in this part of the fight, I would recommend you hide behind in the crate or something like that. Not this crate, but when you're actually entering this part of the fight, similar to the next one, similar to the next part that's actually going to be coming up. So again, just pick up whatever ammo I need so I don't get screwed out like this. By the way, it's also impossible to kill Navarro manually with bullets. So again, you just want to focus on the mooks. This part right here, you obviously want, it's obviously a quick time event, so which also means that you can't go back. So this part you really have to make whatever ammo that you have. And this part right here, I do recommend you hide behind this crate, because there's also a certain other type of mook who carrying another type of gun, which is a grenade launcher. Thankfully though, in terms of this boss fight, you don't have to worry about like other snipers or guys carrying grenades. It's pretty much just Navarro with his gun, with the laser sight, and just the regular mooks with the automatics. So yeah, I must say though, like in terms of this boss fight, well, in terms of the aesthetics, this actually looks pretty good for what it is. Like the boss fight may be flawed in so many areas, but in terms of like the aesthetics, this actually looks pretty nice all around. Like Uncharted 1, graphically speaking, actually looks pretty damn good for 2007, and to me, to this day, I honestly think even to this day it still holds up as one of the better looking PS3 titles, at least for its time. And even today, I do think it looks pretty good. And Uncharted 2 and 3 just look even better. Just saying. Okay, now we're on the final part of this fight. And because of this cutscene, where Navarro shoots the explosive barrels and we lose our gun anyway, here's what we do. You hide behind cover. Here, he'll shoot at you 3 times. At least 2 times. He'll laugh a little bit. And then you move. Repeat this process here. He'll laugh, move. And in this part, he'll only shoot twice, and that's when the cover breaks. When the cover breaks, beat the shit out of him with quick time events, with the same buttons that I've been using with combat in the first place. Yeah, this part of the fight is also pretty damn lackluster too. So after that, you run up to him, and then another quick time event. Press square, and that is pretty much it for Uncharted Drake's Fortune. This final boss, meh.
Elena! Elena! Oh god. Elena! Come on. Can you stand? Okay, come on.
Okay.
You alright?
Oh, Nate!
Adios, asshole.
Oh my god. Oh. Quite a day.
Yeah, save the world, triumph over evil. Pretty typical.
Really?
It's a shame we're leaving empty-handed, though.
Oh well, you know, I did manage to save one small thing. Here, I thought you might miss this.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You two got a funny idea of romantic.
Sully! Wow, you look like hell.
You should see the other guys. Got us a boat.
We already have a boat.
Yeah, big boat.
I like this one better.
Sully, you beautiful son of a bitch!
Borrowed it off a couple of pirates who were too dead to care.
Sorry you didn't get your story.
Well, that's all right. There'll be other stories. You still owe me one.
I'm good for it.
And with that all said and done, with the El Dorado statue now that the El Dorado statue has sunk deep into the ocean, this marks the end of Uncharted 1: Drake's Fortune. As for final thoughts, okay. This is actually gonna come off pretty similar to what I said in Crash Bandicoot 1. For a first outing in the series, I do think, once again, this is a very good first attempt. I kept saying a lot that the platforming and shootout segments, well, particularly the platforming, hasn't really aged all that well. That doesn't make it bad by any means. And the shootout segments, well, once again, it still works very well. Well, barring a few issues like the grenades and the enemy AI. Well, the enemy AI is actually one of the few problems that I do have with Uncharted 1: Drake's Fortune. Well, this game in particular. Like I said in previous parts, it seems like every moment the game just wants to pick a fight with you. Well, I think the worst example of this was in Chapter 6, after the one cutscene. Because after the one cutscene, the guy with the shotgun just suddenly bursts in and tries to kill you. That, I think, is probably one of the worst examples of that sort of thing. At least in my opinion. Some may say that this brings up the challenge, but I don't know. To me, it's just not. Sometimes the game can be a little unfair, especially with the AI. Especially with the AI. But like I said, in terms of the AI and the problem with the grenades, like, you have to use the 6-axis. In later games, those are two issues that get resolved from Uncharted 2 and onward, so that's a plus. Heck, even the Nathan Drake collection fixes that. And when this game this game in the Nathan Drake collection, the grenade issue is the thing that got fixed. Can't really say the same about the enemy AI. But barring the gameplay, these issues, I still think this is a rather fun game to play. It's definitely, as a story-driven game too, it's actually one of the better. Like, I don't play games for story as much, especially when it comes to like Mario, Sonic, maybe a few things like Ratchet and Clank, to some extent, like Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper. But since this game is more story driven, I'm at least glad it's done well. It's not like this game is trying to go for an Oscar-winning story title. In fact, heck, there are a few similarities to Raiders of the Lost Ark, I feel. Especially with the El Dorado statue. But in terms of story, for what it is, it's not that bad. And it's at least entertaining. It's a simple, entertaining plot with entertaining characters. So that's also a plus. Musically speaking, actually, this is one thing I haven't really brought up, but that's only because, well, in terms of the music, I don't really remember much of the soundtrack in this game, in all honesty. But I still think it's good for what it's attached to. I like the ambient sound effects, and even music pieces like this, I do think are actually pretty great. The only piece of music in the entire series that I actually remember, though, is Nate's theme, which is actually a great musical piece to listen to. And I definitely recommend you give a listen. Every iteration, every iteration, including fan iterations. Because, to me, it's just great. And graphically speaking, I'll just end my final thoughts off here. Like I said in this very part, graphically speaking, for 2007, this looked pretty damn good for what it was. Like, this looks pretty damn revolutionary. This is definitely one of those more realistic games where I feel that it's definitely more realistic, but it definitely doesn't go to the whole gray or desolate areas like a lot of modern games tend to do nowadays. GTA 4. Sorry, I need to get that checked out. Sorry if I pissed off any Grand Theft Auto fans out there. But I digress. This game, I think, does a much better job of at least showing realism than some other games that try to show realism in video games. But all in all, Uncharted 1, despite some of its flaws, I still think it's definitely a fun game that you should try out. Don't let the age platforming or stuff like the grenades or the AI stop you from playing this. I wouldn't recommend this game as your first Uncharted game. Because just like Crash, I would definitely recommend Uncharted's 2 or 3. Well, particularly 2, but hey, just like what I said with Crash, if you want to see how this series started, then by all means, play the first one. And you might enjoy this game more than some others, particularly me, but this isn't a bad game by any means, and I do recommend you give this game a shot. So anyway, that is pretty much it for this Let's Play. I don't think I have anything extra to show off. In terms of the next Let's Play, this is pretty much the last day where there's going to be voting on the next game series that I will do, either Ratchet & Clank or Sly Cooper. This poll is going to end the day after this part is up, particularly around 12 a.m. midnight. The next day I'll pull up the final results, and I'll be playing that series. Whatever series that has been voted the most. So, as for the next Uncharted game that we're going to be doing, there's going to be no spin-offs, no nothing. Because yes, the next time we head into the Uncharted series, we're going to be doing Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, which is considered to be the best in the entire series by many Uncharted fans, and honestly, I don't blame them. But yeah, that is it for Uncharted 1, and I'll see you all either for Ratchet & Clank or Sly Cooper. I'm GameMan5804. See you next time. Signing off.